in the garden checking out these golden gold watermelon here. And it looks like a whole bunch of them are almost ready to go or very close. This one's got a little green on the bottom, but you can see up here at the top that the tendril is pretty dried up. And even the secondary tendril is dried up. So I think they're supposed to get a little bit bigger this week than this, but we have been hindered with a ton of rain. And they just have not been growing as good as they could. But we're gonna grab a few of these. Like, yeah, look at this one. The vine's completely dried up already. We're gonna pick a couple of these and bring them in the greenhouse and cut them open. Now, this is a semi-new variety. I think it was 2017 it won the AAS Seed Award. These are supposed to be super prolific. I think there's 4 vines back here that I planted, and I've already harvested 4 or 5 melons this year just to check them out, and I got about 10 still sitting here. So let's grab a few of these and bring them in the greenhouse and see what they look like. Now, this one's still got green on it, but the vine is pretty dried up. This one's still a little green. Obviously the vine is completely dried up on that one. Yeah, this is that one. On this one, let's see, the tendril is not quite dried up yet. It's still got green on it, so we're gonna leave that guy. Check this one. Now the tendril's kind of looks like it's falling off, but part of it is still green. Yeah, here's a piece of it down here. It's still green, so we're gonna leave that one. Well, we'll grab a couple and bring them in. Sweet. Okay. Well, you can see we got our little melons in here. We're gonna, like always, go ahead and set up our scale. And we're gonna see what these guys weigh. Now, they should weigh anywhere between 4 and 15 pounds, which obviously mine are on the lighter side. Alright, first little guy. Not even a pound. We'll go from smallest to largest. 1.2. This one's probably going to be slightly more. 1.2. 1.5. And 2.0. So mine are drastically underweight. I did harvest one that was a little bit bigger than this earlier this year, but it wasn't much bigger. I still have a couple out there. That one out there has got to be probably 3-4 pounds, so we're getting a little better. But let's get one of these cut up, and we'll see what they look like inside. Now, it's an AAS seed winner, which is an all-American seed selection for best performing variety that year out of melons. These are supposed to be completely yellow. You can see it's got the patching or the striping on here. So let's cut up this one. It has the least amount of green, and it's supposed to be sweet yellow flesh inside with black seeds. Oh, look at that. Just a little bit of green left right there. And the melons mature because the seeds are all dark. Not bad looking. It's supposed to be orange yellow flesh. Now, this was a hybrid back in, I believe, 2016 or 2017, and they produce probably 3-4 melons per vine, and they're supposed to resist most diseases. They're supposed to resist most cracking. So it's a pretty good variety for like shipping around or farmers markets, where you're going to be bringing the melon out from, you know, your farm or your place. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Even these smaller ones, definitely pretty good. Get some of these seeds out of there, and we'll save those till next year. So they're all dark and they're all viable right now. Now if you're cutting into watermelons and they have very light brown seeds or white seeds, then the melon probably wasn't ripe, but there's a chance it's still going to be kind of sweet. Yeah, that's a good melon. That's really tasty. Yeah, I've been trying to acquire a good strain of these seeds for about 3-4 years now, and the first place I ordered from, they didn't come out how they were supposed to, so I'm pretty sure that I was sent a different variety of seed. But finally got some last fall, held on to them until the spring, and I think I had like 20 seeds or something, and it ended up producing 12-15 plants, and I ended up giving some away, and I ended up planting like 4 or 5 plants out in my garden, and this is where these little melons came from. Yum. It's crisp, it's light, it's super tasty. The sugar content is pretty high. It definitely has the same sugar content as like a regular red watermelon. But the yellows and the oranges, they tend to have more of that little that tropical taste that the red ones don't get. That's really good. Now we're gonna put our seeds into the bowl here, and then I'll put them into a metal strainer, like a colander, and rinse them down with warm water for a few minutes, and then I like to put them, or just leave them in that strainer for like 5 days to dry, and then you can bag them up after that. That's yummy. If you guys like watermelon, you will not be disappointed with this variety. And these are good for small gardens too, because most of the time the vines don't get over like 6 feet long. It is an icebox variety. I don't want to call it like a mini variety, because mine are supposed to get a little bigger, but these melons are super tasty. They're mature, but they are on the smaller side. Mine anyway. I'm not saying yours will be that small. We just did not have a great growing season this year for melons. We basically got 2 straight months of rain almost every single day, like 3-4 days after I planted these. I think I might do this variety in the greenhouse next year, because the vines don't get very big and I won't have to fight the weather. Get some more of those seeds out. Okay. Let's maybe cut open the bigger one, huh? Still got a little green on them. It's all right. Should be okay because the tendril was ready. Yep, look at that. Beautiful. Seeds are all dark, ready to go. That one tastes even better. Yum, yum, yum. Definitely a delicious watermelon right there. And one reason you can see right here, this is a good one for shipping, because the thickness of the rind is supposed to be almost a 1/2 inch thick. So what that's going to do is it's going to stop these melons from cracking as easily if you're shipping them around. A lot of melons have a much smaller rind wall. So they're a lot more prone to ship, or a lot more prone to cracking if you're going to be moving them around. But these turned out pretty darn good. Definitely one that I recommend, and I will be growing for a long time. Definitely one of the better yellow varieties, because that's another way you can tell they're ripe on these, is because it will be completely yellow all the way around on the rind. Even with a little bit of green like this, they're still going to be ripe, but obviously you can tell once that green is gone, then you know they're definitely ripe. A bit of green on that one. This one was fairly yellow, I think. The bigger one, oh no, it did have a pretty good green streak right there, but it was still fairly ripe. So on the bottom side, you're going to have probably a little bit of green. Otherwise, just look for the whole melon to be completely yellow. Now these are, I believe, 70 days to harvest from transplant and 100 days to harvest from seed. But mine seem to grow much faster than that as far as producing melons. The vines only got about 6-7 feet long, which is perfect because that's what they're supposed to be. But this is definitely a variety that I'm going to be growing for a long time because it's super sweet. My family loves melons. And these seeds are not that easy to get right now. So I'm going to save all these seeds and plant them next year. Plant some in the greenhouse, and I'll probably plant a bunch down in my field versus in my raised bed. We'll see how they do in the field and in the greenhouse versus in a raised bed up on the other side of the farm. So thanks for joining me on another video, little melon review of the Golden Gold watermelon variety, Icebox variety. Good tasting, definitely good grower. Very good. Don't forget to check out all my other videos, like and subscribe. And until next time, Jason with Toadstool Gardens. Happy growing.